Hi there, friends. Welcome to Inspiro, your cozy virtual cafe where we dive deep into the wisdom of life and share a quick dose of daily inspiration. I usually play a mentor role here, while my co-host plays a role of mentee, and today we are wrapping up an incredible season by reflecting on the lessons we have explored and hearing firsthand how they have shaped our wonderful mentee journey. So, yeah, welcome back. And how are you doing? And I really can't believe that we reached the final episode of our first season. So, how are you feeling about this?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I can't believe that either.
Okay, okay. Okay, we are sitting in this fantastic cafe as usual with all fantastic people around us, smiling, enjoying coffee, and I see you enjoying your coffee. What do you have today?
Today I got a Santa. What was it? Santa.
What was that?
I want to say Santa Fe, but Santa Latte. Yeah, I think.
Santa Fe.
Yeah.
It's Santa Latte, exactly. I think I got the same, and it tastes fantastic. Wow. I mean, it's a Christmas season, so why not?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So before we dive into our reflections, into your reflections, let's take a quick scroll down
Yeah.
memory line
Definitely.
and revisit the moments that made this season so impactful for you and for our listeners.
Yes.
We started with the first episode was about the power of choice, and we explored how inner dialogue shapes our emotions and actions. Remember the traffic jam example with the Michael and Sarah?
Slightly.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but
Yeah, you
definitely
remember
have to jog my memory.
one was stressed and one was calm.
Oh yes. Yeah. I remember.
The same situation, different stories.
Yeah.
And it all came down to how they reframed their inner dialogue.
Yeah.
So the trick was to consciously rewrite the negative narrative into something empowering.
Yes.
So, for example, instead of saying that I'm embarrassed or
Yeah.
it was embarrassing, you say that that's a chance to learn and grow,
Yeah.
and to learn something more about me, and to find better ways or good ways of, grow my character,
Yeah.
my personal development. So, did you find yourself catching those negative spirals and flipping the script? Any wins you'd like to share with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have. Yeah. Because you think like you will come past it, right? But it keeps happening. At least for most people, I think. It's not that you like figure out one thing and then you're fixed forever. You have to keep fighting these, or what should I say, overcoming these kind of scenarios again and again. So I've tried to do it. For example, like I came a bit late today, and instead of stressing about it, I was like, okay, this is a chance to like stand in that, own that,
That's
because it will happen again, probably, even though you don't want it to. Once in a while, even though this is the first time I think I've been sort of late to our interviews, and I've noticed some people, they handle it in stride, and some people struggle with it. So
I think you handle it perfectly, and I'm so happy to hear that episode and the power of choice that we have discussed helped you in this situation. I'm very happy for you. I really feel that. Wow. All right. That's amazing. I really like that, and I'm getting inspired by seeing how do you implement that, because that's such a powerful tool. Yes, as you said, you need to constantly work with that. You need, remind yourself there is a tool that you can use to change, the whole experience of that situation.
yeah, definitely.
But when you reminded yourself that, it's very easy to implement, and it's so cool. I'm really happy for that. Okay, let's jump to the second episode, embracing self-worth. And we distinguished self-worth from self-esteem, if you remember. So self-worth is inherent, independent of achievements, while self-esteem it fluctuates with the external validations. And I loved also the befriending exercise, as you remember. You know, when you imagine yourself as your own best friend,
Yeah.
and what would you say to that friend when they're struggling?
Yeah.
And so you offer yourself same kindness
Yeah.
as you would do to your friend.
Right.
Have you tried befriending yourself? How has it changed you and it changed how you view setbacks, challenges?
I can't remember back again all the times it's happened, but I remember recently doing something like that. And it's funny how like immediate it is, almost. How critical you are to yourself, and then but how friendly you are to, or understanding and supportive you are to other people. So if you try that on yourself, it's very almost immediate how the situation may change.
So for our listeners, if you, how would you suggest them to do that?
Well, it's basically the same as what you talked about, where you basically you just talk to yourself as you would to someone else that you are in charge of, you know, or in position of comforting, right? So
Have you used the mirror?
the mirror, I did not do that one, but that I should do.
I would recommend to try it. But
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to. But it's just so much easier because then you kind of talking to your friend while talking to yourself. But that's awesome. That's awesome. Remember, the third episode was about something really, really big. It was about finding your purpose. It's all about aligning values, skills to uncover deeper sense of purpose, your purpose. Dogs and writing the cafes despite of the hardships she experienced in that time. And Sylvester Stallone,
Yes.
which were refusing to sell his script unless he starred in Rocky.
Yeah.
And they both stuck to their why through thick and thin. We also did the Venn diagram of purpose, and that was really fantastic to see how do you uncover your purpose through the questions we've been through, like matching your passion, skills, and societal needs. So, did you find any surprising intersections, or did you make a progress in your purpose-driven goal?
Definitely. Definitely. It's funny though, for me at least, how it goes. You know, again, it's not like one fix, but these are certainly tools that you can use and come back to, right? So they're just tools in a toolbox. It's not like you once and for all fix the problem, but you can, when these problems occur, or you're better able to, combat them. So
Do you remember what purpose have you uncovered through that
yeah,
dialogue?
yeah. I mean, so then going back to that, you uncovered again and again and in different ways, and it keeps changing and changing its form, and so I've definitely worked with it, yeah, many times over the last few months.
Did it change your perception of life somehow? When you uncovered your purpose at that episode, and then you kind of uncovered it again and again, as you said. How did it change your feeling of life or experience of life?
It gives you direction,
Yeah,
which is essential.
sense of direction is it's so important because I mean, come on, you can go fast, you can go efficient, but if you go in the wrong direction, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Okay, and the fourth episode we talked about the willpower. Oh, that is powerful, and we even came to something which was unique, I would assume, in that dialogue. So let's come back to that. But the willpower, it's a muscle of itself, right? But it's a muscle on the way to transformation. So the willpower itself is not the purpose. It's not you want to achieve. Oh, I have a strong willpower. Okay, what do you do with that? That's important. Transformation journey that it enables. and we did this 5 minute rule exercise, if you remember, where it's all about just starting, committing to a task for 5 minutes to overcome resistance, and then it's much. I mean, it's good enough for the start, and usually you will continue with that because you create a
Right.
you cr-
Momentum or
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, you do. And also there was a temptation bundling when you when
Yes.
you when you pair something you love with something challenging.
Okay.
Like for example, only watch your favorite show while you're on the treadmill. And we also talked about Dan Millon. The book. He wrote the book, The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, and
Yes.
his
Yes. Yes.
journey as a gymnast,
Yeah.
who turned a devastating accident into a journey of growth and wrote that fantastic book. And just his story reminded us that willpower isn't just about discipline. It's not about just be as disciplined as you can, and then do the right things. It's about
Right.
enabling your, what is the word? Transformation.
Okay. Wait. I think you have to talk a bit more about that. What do you mean?
So as we discussed, willpower itself, it's a great tool. We're
Yeah.
talking about tools,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a tool. It's
Right.
not the purpose itself. But when you have a willpower, it will help you to take the necessary steps for your transformation journey.
Right. Yes.
Right.
It's that. Yeah. That
Yeah.
spark or that.
And it's back to your purpose, to your motivation, to inspiration. Because why? I mean, you always need to answer that question. Why do I develop my willpower? To be more willpowerish? Right? It doesn't make sense. It's for your purpose, for your transformation journey, for your change
Okay.
that
Yes.
you do in yourself to achieve your life purpose.
Right. 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 Okay.
Okay.
Right. So they all kind of intersect and interact.
Have you tried any techniques to build that willpower? Any habits maybe you have built during this journey?
Well, setting up like an area where you know you're going to work, for example, like
Yeah.
a workstation. In regards to my thesis, that's an example.
Yeah, fantastic. So, what was your favorite activity that you bundled with the thesis writing?
Well, for me, it's just finding the same area to work
Oh,
and
yeah.
then cutting out distractions.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't
Just
know.
find this calm place where you can relax and focus on the creation. In that sense, that's awesome. And the last time we talked about the art of acceptance, which was so inspiring for going through it with you. We embraced the life's river with this stoic amour fati,
Yes.
and I hope I pronounced it correctly, but it's the love of fate. And it's not about loving every hardship, but accepting that even the whirlpools are part of the journey. And then we explored the rain meditation, and that one is so powerful.
Yes.
And especially the last part of it. Do you remember what RAIN stands for? It's recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. And that nurture part is so important. So remember how we broke down these negative feelings step by step and did the nurturing self-compassion, saying that you did a good job, or everything will be okay, or it's all right to feel those feelings. You're a good person.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you embrace the life's flow after that episode? Any moments where you steered through the rocks instead of fighting the current?
Yeah. It's definitely like again, it's simple, small things, right? Subtle things. It doesn't. It's not like you learn this tool and then you're a Zen monk and you can float through anything. But once in a while, you think of that. You remember back and think of that rule, and then and then you might more easily overcome one scenario, right? And I've done that a few times. Yeah.
Could you share with us some details
For
of
example,
that example?
in conversation with more and more people, you might force your opinion through, and you might kind of relax a bit more and just let the conversation unfold naturally instead. You know.
It's almost like physical feeling of that I am intercept something that flows. You can actually feel it with the whole of your body that oh I'm going against flow, which sometimes don't understand me wrong. Sometimes you should do that if the flow leads to something that you don't want
Yeah.
in the end.
Yeah.
But maybe ideally is to recognize that flow, follow it, and then make a turn when you need.
Yes.
So look for those moments where you can make that turn. And then, as you say, the life and the situation will uncover itself while you are steering your boat, but you're not sailing up the river.
Definitely. Yeah. 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 Definitely. That's beautiful.
So you had an incredible journey through these episodes and our conversations. So we have covered now all the topics. So let's talk about you. What would be your best tip to me as you in the beginning of the journey to ensure that all the lessons that I've learned
Yeah.
or I will learn through the journey
Yeah.
will sit
Revise.
in with me.
Revise.
Revise.
Revise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Practice the tools learned.
Okay.
Get them in your brain, and then when the case comes up, which it inevitably will, you
Yeah.
can implement the tool. Right.
Okay. Okay. So what is the top three advices you remember from the journey that you would pass to your future mentee?
I think the biggest one is the narrative change.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most powerful tools we have,
Yeah.
which can go. It can be really. It can seem very simple, and it can be very simple. It can help from just seeing a scenario differently, something that happened, right? But it can go very deep into like completely seeing yourself, changing your identity for yourself, building a new person of yourself, change your whole world. So it's extremely deep, but you can also use it very subtly or simply as well in your everyday.
Okay.
So that's one of the tools.
I write down.
And another one, I suppose, is kind of digging deep, and it never ends. But the asking of what's your purpose, or what do you feel intuitively maybe your greater meaning is, because it again gives you that sense of direction in life, where you can, not spend so much time, floating around in the sea, as it were. And as you say yourself, it doesn't matter if you move fast or slow, but as long as you're going in the right direction, you're on the right path, and life will naturally unfold, and you will naturally grow as well. So that's the third one, or the second one. And the third one. Third one. Yes. Okay. Let's do that one. The self-nurturing thing, which I haven't implemented that much, but
What does it mean for you? How should I practice self-nurturing? In what situations?
well, I need to get better at it myself. But to again, you will meet things in life where you feel quite, what should I say, lowered energy, or maybe it's sad or angry or something will come up where you feel like you don't reach the mark, right? You know, and in that case, you treat yourself as a friend, and you talk to yourself in a way that's comforting. You'd be like, okay, it's okay. Sometimes mistakes happen. It doesn't mean like you're a failure. It doesn't mean like the world's gonna end. It doesn't mean these people will hate you, etc., etc., etc. So those three are probably
And I love
the
that.
biggest ones.
I love that. And the way you delivered that, I felt that you are a mentor and I was a mentee. And how did it change your perspective on what we have been discussing through all these episodes when you actually delivered the mentorship
Yeah.
on me?
Yeah.
Did it do something or
Yeah, it was so quick now, so I didn't really have time to like process that much or prepare myself. But definitely, it like puts you in a role of more responsibility. Honestly, it makes you like it makes you more aware of what you're giving away as well, and what the rules mean, and how much it can impact someone else. Definitely.
I love that. And I just see while you've been talking about these three things, your wise you just came through your eyes and kind of teached both me and you at the same time.
Definitely.
That's so amazing feeling.
Yeah.
It's so amazing experience.
Yeah, I haven't done that much, but now I can see why they say teaching is the best way to learn. Or
Yeah.
what they say.
Absolutely. Why do you think I'm doing these episodes?
Yeah. Cool, man. Cool.
It's to teach myself.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that was so inspiring, and it just reminded that transformation is it's less about big things, right? It's more about the small, the consistent steps we're talking about. It's about these small steps we take, and it could be a big step, it could be a small step, but as long as you do it in the right direction, fueling by your purpose, you will achieve that anyway.
Cool.
You will do it. And now, before we wrap up, let's talk about next season.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm very excited because we will be diving into something very special. Do you want to announce that?
Yes, I think I'll try. So next season we want to interview other people in this life who have certain perspectives that we might find interesting, and then later we will discuss these interviews.
We'll take the wisdom from those stories and unpack them for you.
Yeah.
And thanks to all these inspirational stories from everyday people. These are we all heroes. We all have.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Everyday heroes. I was going to say that. Yeah.
We are everyday heroes.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. We are teachers, parents, artists, neighbors, and we all have those stories, and we want to bring them to you. And just those stories, I think they're quite powerful because they remind us that extraordinary strength and wisdom often lie in the most ordinary places and people like you and me. So stay tuned because their stories will not only inspire you but remind you that you are the hero and you have the hero within yourself. You need to uncover it, and we will help you with that's fantastic
that's
dialogue that we
super
will
cool.
have.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
super cool.
I'm looking forward. So thank you for sharing your journey, Minty.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You've been amazing, and you just it's a hard work what you've done
Yeah.
because you wanted to be yourself. At the same
Yeah.
time, you wanted to act on behalf of all the people that listen to
Yeah.
us and help them to process the new knowledge, the new tools, the new concepts. So you've done an amazing job.
Yes. Yes.
So happy for you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. And also thank you, all our listeners, for being a part of this incredible season. Your support, curiosity, and courage to grow just making Spiral what it actually is. It's your cozy virtual cafe for dreamers and doers that can share a quick dose of their inspiration. Remember, inspiration is not just about something you find, it's something you create. So go out there, smile at the world, and let it smile back to you. Have a fantastic day. Live a life filled with inspiration. Goodbye.
Goodbye.